Do you know what humans have forgotten how to do? Humans have forgotten what it is to sit there and have a conversation with a complete stranger. It can be a 3 minute, 3 sentence conversation where you're just asking the person in front of you how their day is in line at the grocery store. Or you see a bus driver and they're driving you somewhere and you start up a conversation. Or the girl behind you at line to get your coffee compliments you on something. We see these things every once in a while, and I'm sure everyone still has the experiences, but overall, I don't think we talk about how altering this is for humans from an evolutionary standpoint. Before, humans had to communicate if they wanted to survive. Humans depended on being able to be good communicators, good at eye contact, good at movement, at body language, at the tone of voice that they're using. And since we don't really need those things anymore, we can make friends online. We can, meet our friend in our class, fifth period, whatever it is. So if you think about it, in many senses, we don't really need as much communication as we used to. A lot of things are just known, or technology helps us communicate with each other. But if this is something that as humans we've needed to have, and we have had for thousands of millions of years, don't you think that it needs to be a part of our everyday lives now? And that's the thing, especially nowadays, we get so many people that are talking about how anxious they get when they talk to other people, or how they don't want it to be awkward. They don't know how to start a conversation. And I think we see this, I mean, as everyone says, more and more in people that are younger. Like the younger you go, like it takes effort for families and for parents to really take charge and teach their kids these skills, because these skills aren't really being taught too much. Like in schools or with other friends, like if you're not really learning it at home from your parents, like learning how to communicate well, how do you really expect your child that is going to grow to be an adult, how do you expect them to communicate? And these are so many of the things like we even go to therapy for. So much of a therapist is just like, you need to learn how to communicate. I need to learn how to communicate with my boss and set boundaries. I need to communicate with my parents, with my partner, with my family, with my kids, whatever it might be. We're constantly talking about the art of communication, yet it's one of those things that has become so lost in our generation, in our society. And when this happens, what we're creating is, again, more distance, more apart, more you're there, I'm there, we're separate, we have nothing in common. Let me tell you something. If you were in a situation, in a physical place, even like online, I feel like this could apply, but if you're in a physical place and you see someone next to you, you and that person have at least one thing in common, which is the common place you're standing at. If you're at a coffee shop, clearly you both like to drink coffee or go there to work on projects, go there to work on your laptop. If you are waiting for a taxi in the middle of the night after you just went out with all of your friends, you're going to turn around, you're going to see other people, other groups of friends that just finished doing the exact same thing. Anytime that you place yourself in a physical location, in a physical situation, you are automatically having something in common with that person. So the thing is not really like whenever we say, oh, I don't know what to say, I'm afraid it's going to be awkward. You have things to say. Like you have things in common that you already know, even if literally boiled down, it's just the place that you're in, but you do have something in common. Like automatically that is no question. And this is something I'm also aware it's not like this everywhere. Like culturally, this changes from culture to culture in different languages. Sometimes some things are appropriate in one place and they're completely inappropriate in another place. But all in all, like you live where you live and you know where you live, you know? You look around, you see the things, like normally you know what's going on in your own environment and you have to, take whatever I'm saying and apply it to your situation. But this is something I've always found. I like to chat with people. I'm not like the chattiest person ever and I need to have like all these conversations. Like naturally I am definitely an introvert. Like I get my energy from being alone, from like recharging my battery. But I love talking to strangers. Especially of course when it's like a really great conversation, we're both really interested in it. But what I've noticed is that it's so much easier for me to talk to people that are older than me being like parents' age, grandparents' age, just literal older adults, whatever it might be. And I don't know why it is. Maybe it's because that generation is different. They were brought up maybe with less technology, more social skills, more communication that they needed to have. Like, I don't know, just kind of a theory. But overall, there's something about it that has always just been very easy for me. It's been easy to talk to me. And I guess I shouldn't say always, because when I was a kid, I mean, I feel like a lot of kids, you're kind of like shy, you're quiet, you don't really talk to the adults. And I don't think it was until maybe like high school when I started my first job and I started having to talk to people that were older than me, like as part of my job, like talk and entertain and ask questions and do all these things. And that's what actually made me realize, oh, I actually need to learn how to communicate. Like I need to be placed in an environment where I pick up that skill, because again, we're not learning these things nowadays. We're not learning, because all the learning that we're doing is reading books about how to communicate, but what we actually need to be doing is just communicating. Like it's amazing to learn and listen to podcasts and read books, but again, all of that is just you're consuming all of that content, and it can be very positive, but content means nothing unless you're actually doing something with it, unless there's action and there's creativity that's produced afterwards. So in this case, we have to think about, okay, if we're building some kind of relationship, if we're talking to other people, like we need to bring in those skills into those environments. And I know that it can be scary sometimes. I mean, we're not always in the mood. 100 different things could be going on as to why you don't want to have a conversation with people, but again, it's a muscle. The more that you practice it, because again, it's essential that we practice it. It means nothing to read about it, to learn about it. Like enough learning, you know what you're doing. You've read enough articles, you've read enough books, you've listened to all the podcasts that you need to. Sometimes it's just time for you to start acting. Start acting and start taking initiative to start conversations. And one thing I'll say about this, like when it comes to mindset, don't, like if it's overwhelming for you to be like, I need to have 10 conversations with 10 strangers today, that can be very overwhelming, especially if you're just starting out to think about this. So all I encourage you to do is to start being okay with being seen, like going out more, going to places, just putting yourself in an environment where you would even see people. Like that's for starters. And also when it, like, I guess in alignment with everything I'm saying, there also needs to be a mindset shift. Something that tells you, even if I'm not comfortable in this, or even if whatever comes up, like I'm open to it. I would like to have conversations with strangers. I would like to tell people about my business. I would like to talk about the book that I'm reading with the stranger that I'm sitting next to. Like, just start out with the thoughts of, I'm open to this. I'm open to having conversations. I'm open to receiving really good feedback or whatever it is. Start there maybe. And from there, you're going to build slowly. And again, this isn't I'm not even going to tell you it's like, go out and talk to 10 people a day until you're not afraid anymore. Like, it's going to come to you and it's going to come to you. And that's the thing. If your mindset is not aligned, you will attract the worst kind of people. The people who you ask a question to and they look at you and they're like, I don't know, and they're just going to be like rude about it. That's why, again, it all starts in your mindset. Like if you're having a good day, more good things are going to happen in your day. You're going to receive a random check in your bank account. You are going to see that friend that you like just randomly ran into in the grocery store. Like all those things will happen. It's the same with this. Like if you start out with a positive mindset, not even about this, just like genuinely like having a positive day, you've done something that you really like, you were with family, you enjoyed, you went to the pool on a hot summer day, you're more likely to be in the energy that will attract someone in which you have a really positive, awesome conversation with. So when we think about these things, just think you are capable of doing anything that you want. You know that. And I think it is just time that we start practicing a little bit more in mostly everything, but in this case, like social skills and just like having conversations with people, it's essential. I feel like so many relationships are getting cut off so early on because we just are so uncomfortable with conversations. We are overwhelmed by conflict, by issues that come up, and then so we run. And I mean, we look at like divorce rates nowadays and we're like, wow, it makes sense. Like people would rather flee a situation than like stay and work on it. Like people that have genuinely good relationships will leave it because it's convenient. It's easy to leave. Again, it's like that. I don't know if I should say it's instant gratification, but it's like I have a way out, I'm just going to leave. I would rather leave than face this issue. And I think that one of the only relationships where we still see this like intent of like therapists and people trying to like have people come back together is in marriages, is in relationships, partnerships, because we give it so much value that we understand someone needs to come into the picture and help us communicate and give us the tools and give us new skills and talk to us. But what about when it comes to friendships? What about when it comes to the fact that you could have a fight with your best friend and all of a sudden you're strangers? Like, we are so unaware and unaccustomed on to how to properly communicate with each other. And if we can't do it on the macro, like we're not taking the initiative to solve, not even solve, just talk about these big conflicts that are coming up in our relationships. Like, we can't do that because we're afraid of even doing the micro. We're afraid of even like talking to people around us, talking to the strangers that we see on the street. So it's like, if you can't even do this, how do you expect to do this? It's going to be really difficult. So, yeah, I just encourage you, open up your mindset, let people come in, let people see you and acknowledge you. You are worthy. You are meant to be seen by people. That's why you're here. There's a reason that we're communal animals. We are not individualistic in the sense that we just all live thousands of feet apart from each other. We just live completely different lives. No, we live in community. We live in apartment complexes. We live in houses that are all next to each other because we understand from a biological point of view that we need each other, that we survive when we're around other people, that something about those conversations, about that energy gives us light, gives us motivation, gives us a sense of comfort and being, and it's just such a positive thing. With all that being said, I see you, I'm here for you always, and I'm always rooting for you and your success. And whatever it is that you're determined to do, it's mindset and action. And I know that you got both of those things.